Hello and welcome to another Taekwondo lesson. In previous lessons I showed you how to do 4 basic blocks as well as some attacks like a punch and a flat fingertip thrust. And today I'm going to show you how to combine these techniques while you're in walking stance. Today I'm going to show you 3 basic combinations. A middle block followed by a reverse punch, a low block followed by a rising block, and a high block followed by a flat fingertip thrust. So let's start with the middle block reverse punch. So go into a walking stance position and then step forward doing a middle block, which I showed you how to do in lesson number 11. So I won't go into detail today, but I'll show you how to follow up with the reverse punch. First, you load the weight onto the front leg as you relax and bend your knees. Your body may drop slightly at this stage, and then bring your arms into a neutral position here. Use your front leg to raise the body, and then you extend the opposite arm and bring the fist of the punching hand back, and then you square up as you drop, punching full facing to the center line, shoulder height, and twist both fists at the same time, pulling very sharply with the opposite hand. Okay? Now, common mistakes are to pull the shoulder back too much to try and generate power. You're already half facing, so when you square up, you're going to get enough power from that. Okay, another common mistake is to square up too much. You've got to end up full facing, but you don't need to get there too soon. Then you're not going to get much power unless you pull it back again, which doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, doesn't make sense. So just stay relaxed, and your body should have a natural sway. So just allow it to move how it wants. If you stay relaxed, it should go correctly. Like that, as long as you square up at the end. And another thing, if you square up too early, you tend to go too low. I see this, it's very common. And another thing is very common is to be very jerky throughout the stages of this technique, like this, down, up, down, you see? This is not fluid. Every technique needs to be fluid. Proper sine wave is very smooth. Notice that your body moves in an ellipse, like that. Even your fist moves in an ellipse. So the whole motion is very smooth. But drop sharply at the end. So you can stay relaxed, but be very sharp at the end. So practice this going forward. 1 and 2. And breathe out. Use breath control for each technique. And notice you drop sharply on every technique. So practice this going forwards and backwards as a drill. Now let's practice low block followed by a rising block. Okay. So I showed you how to do the low block stepping forward in lesson 11. So you do that. And the principles are going to be the same as when you did the reverse punch in the earlier exercise. You just relax, bring the weight onto the front leg and make this elliptical motion and go into a neutral position. Okay, but just prepare it for the rising block. Okay, so neutral position and drop. With the punch, you need to really jerk the abdomen to get power in the punch. But with the rising block, you don't need to. So this jerky movement is not so pronounced in this case. It's more from the arm. So you really got to flick the elbow to get the power. It's very difficult to generate a lot of power because you're moving away from the technique. But if you do it fast enough, it will be sharp enough. Okay, so there. Okay, no need to go full facing totally. Okay, although it wouldn't matter so much in this one. Just keep it natural as long as you square up completely at the end. So use your own preference how you do this. I see a lot of people squaring up too soon and that drops your body. So just square up a little bit and make sure you're full facing at the end. So all the principles are the same. Breath control, dropping sharply, pulling the reaction. Just make sure you're half facing on the first one and finish full facing on the second one. So practice this as a drill. The next combination is high block followed by flat fingertip thrust. I showed you how to do the high block in lesson number 11 and the flat fingertip thrust in lesson number 9, although I showed you it as an obverse technique. Now we're doing it as a reverse technique. But the principles are very much the same as doing the middle block punch, so it's not much to add here. You're in a high block position, you relax, come up and thrust. The way you turn your body is very similar to the punch. You jerk the shoulder forward to get power for the punch. So here you do the same thing for the thrust, but you don't need to bring the hand back all the way as you did with the punch. You just can bring it from here. You don't need to force it back too much, like that. Okay, so end up on the center line, and for a high thrust, it's eye level. Okay, otherwise the principles are the same. So you can practice this going forwards and backwards as a drill. There are many other combinations you can do using the basic techniques. For example, high block followed by a reverse punch, low block followed by a high flat fingertip thrust. So you can make up your own. So I suggest you experiment with that. And next time I will show you how to do a front snap kick followed by obverse reverse punch in fast motion. Join me for that one. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.